in, step inside the door.
Hello and welcome to the official first episode of Jester's Lounge. And today we got some topics for you. The Dallas the Dallas Cowboys meltdown. We're breaking down the utter collapse of the defense, which is getting D and F grades for its run and pass defense. Plus, we'll dive into major questions surrounding Trayvon Diggs' future after he was sidelined with a mysterious home accident concussion and his home being put up for sale. The Wrestle War report, fresh off AEW. Wrestle Dream will analyze the huge bloody I Quit match where the returning Sting helped Darby Allin and the historic night where Mercedes Moné won her 11th championship. Plus the latest on the surging new WWE US champion Ilya Dragunov and the future of Britt Baker. Then the Power Rangers divide. Why do so many Power Ranger actors openly despise the content creator Henry Resilient? We'll dive into the dramatic behind the scenes. Well, I'm just going to be reacting to a video of Henry's. And then I'll open up the thing for a hangout session. Let's see. Let's check the Price Fan. Hello. And we got Dominic Williams. What's up, Dom? And we got Nick. Nick, what is up? All right, let's get right into the first thing. So the Dallas Cowboys are 3-3 and have one tie. We managed to destroy the Washington Commanders, but their current struggles right now for the Dallas Cowboys primarily center on their defense, which is currently performing as one of the worst in the NFL. Here are the key issues based on the current season's reports. I'll pour us on defense. The defense is ranked near the bottom of the league in several key categories, including total yards allowed, scoring defense, passing yards allowed, rushing yards allowed, particularly against the run in recent weeks, which is why I am holding my breath against next week because the Broncos are known for a great running offense. They always know how to run the ball. All right. Lack of pass rush. This is considered the biggest problem and major factor in the poor pass defense. The team traded star rusher Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers just before the season started, and his absence has been critical. Defensive scheme coaching. The new defensive coordinator, Matt Eberflus' zone-heavy scheme is reportedly not working well with their current personnel, leading to blown coverages and little pressure on opposing quarterbacks. Wasting the offense. Quarterback Dak Prescott is putting up historic high numbers. That's right. I'm going for Seattle. I think Seattle deserves a shot at a World Series. I want to see them. I want to see a team dismantle the Dodgers. Even though David loves the Dodgers because you Mookie bitch. Yes. All right. Personnel. All right. And the secondary, the personnel. Wasting the offense. Quarterback Dak Prescott is putting up historic numbers, high passer rating, touchdowns, low turnovers, and the offense is high scoring, but their efforts are often canceled out by the defense inability to get stops, leading to a non-winning record. Personnel concerns. The defense has struggled, particularly at linebacker and in the secondary, with issues like missed tackles and defensive backs getting routinely beaten in coverage. Organizational direction. Owner Jerry Jones has drawn criticism for his public statements, such as maintaining the pass rush is a strength despite the Parsons trade and the team's poor pass rush numbers. In short, the offense is elite, but the defense is failing to hold up its end. with the trade of Micah Parsons and the struggles of the new defensive scheme being the most significant factors. All right, let's get on to news on Trayvon Diggs. The latest news on Dallas Cowboy quarterback Trayvon Diggs is centered around an injury and increasing trade speculation. Injury status and week 7 absence ruled out. Diggs was ruled out for the Cowboys week 7 game against the Washington Commanders. He is in the concussion protocol after sustaining a concussion from an at-home accident. All right, how in the hell do you get a concussion at home? I could understand if maybe he had those hard floors like I do. If you were to slip and knock your head back onto the floor, I've had that happen to me. Trust me, don't feel good. Details: head coach Brian Schottenheimer announced the news on Friday, stating that Diggs reported to the facility with concussion symptoms after the incident the previous night. Of what caused the injury has not been elaborated upon. Return timeline: Cowboys owner Jerry Jones is reportedly expected Diggs to return to the lineup in Week 8 against the Denver Broncos. And there's been trade speculations as well. The injury was quickly followed by reports Diggs had quietly listed his Texas home for sale for $4 million just weeks prior, which has significantly fueled trade rumors ahead of the trade deadline. Rocky history. Tensions between Diggs and the Cowboys front office has been reported, dating back to 2023 when he opted out to use his own medical team for rehabilitation after a torn ACL. And he hasn't really been the same after that ACL injury. A decision that reportedly did not sit well with owner Jerry Jones. Of course, Jerry Jones wants it his way or nothing at all. And he also got fined for it. Following another injury in 2024, Diggs again chose independent rehab, leading to the team withholding $500,000 of his salary. Uncertain future: the combination of mysterious injury, the home sale, and the history of friction within the organization has led to widespread speculation, with the separation either via trade before the deadline or in the offseason is becoming increasingly likely. Good. We need to get rid of him because he hasn't really done nothing for us. So today, the Cowboys defeated the Washington Commanders in Week 7 with a dominant final score of 44-22. The win was a comprehensive performance powered by the offense's explosiveness and a critical turnover from the defense. And here are the key moments and player performance. Dak Prescott threw for 264 yards and 3 touchdowns with a 130.4 passer rating and 0 interception. He was in full command of the offense. The return: CeeDee Lamb in the first game back from injury had 5 receptions for 100 yards and an early momentum shifting 74-yard touchdown catch. Red Zone King Jake Ferguson, the tight end, caught 2 red zone touchdown passes for Prescott. Ground game: Javonte Williams led the rushing attack with 160 yards and 1 touchdown and 19 carries, contributing to the Cowboys' total of 152 rushing yards. Defensive playmaker Deron Bland scored a game-sealing touchdown with a 60-yard interception. Return pick 6 in the third quarter. He also had a critical stop, a 2-point conversion attempt. Brandon Aubrey was perfect in all kicks, including a 61-yard field goal, making him the first kicker in NFL history with 5 field goals, 60-plus yards. The turning point: Jaden Daniels went down with an injury. So, okay, we got David here. He's backstage. What's up, David?
What's up, Jesse?
Not much, just going over the Cowboys win. They basically won convincingly. And offensive explosiveness. End of the second half, George Pickens caught a 44-yard catch to extend the lead to 27-15. The win moves the Cowboys' record to 3-3-1 on the season, and they are currently second in the NFL East.
Yeah, from the looks of today's game, I don't see Washington going to the playoffs this year because of what happened today. And also, Tom Brady called it. It was going to be a shootout today before kickoff. So,
Yeah.
but
It's just the Cowboys lack a pass rush. They lack a secondary. I mean, I don't know if they're going to be able to beat the Broncos, even though I want to see Brandon Cry live on stream when he covers it next week or next Sunday, which would be fun to watch. But I have a feeling with the way the Broncos are and the way they run the ball, it's going to be hard for them to stop the Broncos.
Yeah. Well, we'll see because, I mean, last year they didn't go to the playoffs because of Dak Prescott's what's his
Injury. He had a
injury,
hamstring injury that kept him. He had to have surgery, and it ended the season.
Yeah, but every time he's healthy, they make it to the playoffs. So I see that happening. After what I saw today, I see the Cowboys.
It just depends on how the defense plays. The defense is just horrible. I mean, you pretty much heard the things, but I got a top 10 reasons why the Cowboys suck, and we're gonna go number 1: the playoff drought. The most frequent criticism of is the extreme lack of playoff success. They have not appeared in the NFC Championship game since 1996, which is the longest active drought in the conference. Number 2 of why the Cowboys suck: the owner/general manager, Jerry Jones. Many critics point to owner Jerry Jones' decision to also serve as the team's general manager. This dual role is often blamed for questionable personnel decisions, a revolving door of coaches, and creating a culture where the owner's ego overshadows football operations. Number 3, high expectations and America's team hype. The Cowboys are one of the most valuable sports franchises in the world and are constantly in the national media spotlight. This generates immense hype and an annual Super Bowl contender narrative that consistently fails to materialize, leading to a massive letdown for fans and delight for haters like this little guy right here, David. Number 4, stuck in mediocrity. Despite multiple 12-win regular seasons in recent years, the team has a history of falling just short of elite status, leading to a reputation for being good but not good enough, or stuck in mediocrity. Number 5, lack of success in free agency. The front office is often criticized for a conservative, seldom aggressive approach to free agency, missing opportunities to sign proven veterans who could fill obvious holes on the roster. Number 6, playoff choking and underperformance. The team is frequently criticized for appearing unprepared, making high-profile mistakes, and getting blown out in key playoff games, despite often having talented rosters. Number 7, Dak Prescott is overrated, overpaid. Quarterback Dak Prescott, despite strong regular season stats, is a frequent target of criticism for his high salary and perceived inability to lead the team deep into the playoffs or perform in high-pressure elimination games. Number 2, poor rushing offense/defense at times. The team is often criticized for lack of commitment to a consistent running game or having a defense that struggles to stop opponents' rushing attacks, creating a lack of balance needed for a deep playoff run. Number 9, the star culture and arrogance. Critics argue the organization prioritizes image marketing and promoting the star player mystique over consistent disciplined team building, resulting in an inflated arrogance that doesn't match the results. Number 10, inconsistent coaching. The team has a history of coaching changes, and critics argue that even competent coaches have struggled to navigate the dual owner slash GM dynamic and the immense pressure of the Dallas Cowboys media market. Well, it's because Jerry Jones says anybody can coach the team to to a Super Bowl, and it's blown up in his face since. All right,
Yeah.
we got. Let's take a look at the chat. We got Tyler. If only the Cowboys didn't trade one of the best pass rushers in the league. I agree right there.
Yeah.
We got Alex and we got RJB40. What's up? All right, next up. So, what are your thoughts on the Cowboys, David? I know you don't like them and that you've criticized them in the past, or you make fun of them.
Well, with Dak Prescott, unless they're healthy, I see them making the playoffs because I don't remember seeing them miss the playoffs with Dak Prescott is healthy. So I know for sure they'll make it to the playoffs this year, but when it comes to the playoffs, the pressure's so high and they just, you know, there's like this dark cloud curse around them. So I don't know about how far they'll go to the playoffs, but I know for sure they'll get there at least. Because if you saw what happened with Washington today, they're, if they can't compete against uh, divisional opponents like that, then it's not going to be pretty for them.
No. It's just that the Cowboys need to they need to rebuild their defense. Their defense the defense is never there when they do make the playoffs. The last time they faced Green Bay, they got their asses handed to them, and it's never been pretty. It has never been pretty.
Yeah.
But I agree with Dominic right here. Nobody wants to see Jerry Jones coach the Cowboys. Nope, that would be a disaster.
I mean, how can that possibly happen? He's the owner. Like,
That would be like if an owner decided he wanted to play quarterback for the team. You know how
I know.
ridiculous that would look.
Yeah, it's like betting on your team.
Yeah.
So I don't you know if Jerry also is too old for that job. Like for the owner,
Yeah.
okay, fine, but a coach. I mean, look what happened to Belichick.
Only same thing happened to Greg Popovich. He had a stroke last year, and he had to step down. He's no longer coaching the team. But we got Mitch Johnson, who was under the Greg Popovich learning tree, which we'll see what this season holds for the Spurs. They're looking good so far. We got
it's the preseason.
Yeah, it's a preseason. Hopefully Wimby could stay healthy and Devin Vassell could stay healthy. If that happens, we definitely will make probably a playoff run and not a play-in. Because usually what happens when the Spurs are playoff bound, for all those times they were able to coast during the regular season and then go right into the playoffs, and they would make deep runs, sometimes get eliminated, but we won championships on the back of Tim Duncan, Mono Ginobili, and Tony Parker. And then we were able to dismantle a super team in the Miami Heat. We came close in 2013, but 2014 we got the pieces to, and we didn't need any more stars. We had the Spurs team their team was always been the drafting for the Spurs. They always look for player with a high basketball IQ. Players that are over themselves. Players that are willing to take a pay cut just to, to go deep into the playoffs, and they've done it. That's why I'm so high on the Spurs.
Well, let's see if they can do all good this year, but we'll see.
So next up, we got the results from Wrestle Dream. You know, we got Britt Baker. Also, her future. We're going to talk about that. But we got a pretty stacked card. Sting returned last night. Sting returned and to help Darby Allin. So the first match, FTR defeated Jet Speed. The grade incomplete, and then the Jamie Hayter match. Hayter defeated her opponent, and the grade was a B. And then we got the Jurassic Express, which was pretty interesting. That grade was an A. The Jurassic Express defeated Young Bucks, and they won the $5,000 or $500,000 in cash. And then we got the Tornado Trios match, the Hurt Syndicate versus the Demand. The Hurt Syndicate defeated the Demand, and the match got a C+. The TNT Championship, Mark Briscoe versus Kyle Fletcher. That match result, Fletcher defeated Briscoe to retain the title. The grade was a B. And next up, we got the AEW Women's World Championship match. Timeless Tony Storm against Chris Statlander. And Chris Statlander defeated Tony Storm, and the match grade was a B+. Next up, here we go. Mercedes Moné versus Mina Shirakawa. And Moné defeated Shirakawa to capture the interim the Ring of Honor Women's TV Championship, which gets a grade of B. But basically Mercedes Moné has 10 championship belts she's carrying around from winning, and she basically broke a wrestling legend Ultimo Dragon's record. Next up, we got the AEW World Tag Team title. Bro Dito versus Kensuke Takeshita and Kazuchika Okada, or I can't spell this, but Rodito defeated Okada and Takeshita to retain the titles, and the match was a grade A. And then we got the Joe and Hangman Adam Page. Page defeated Joe to retain the title, and that was a B grade. And then the I Quit match.
What the
hell? It's basically you beat each other to a pulp until they can't take no more pain, and they scream I quit, basically. You know, Allen defeated Moxley, and the grade was a C. All right, let's take a look at the future, because there's a lot of rumors going around.
Jesse, I think someone's backstage.
Oh, someone's backstage? We got Joey! What's up, Joey?
Hey, Joey.
I got here a little late, but...
Okay. How are you doing?
Mercedes Moné has too many belts.
That's what I'm saying. She's basically trying to do what Ultimo Dragon did.
There's a difference, though. Ultimo Dragon had talent.
Yeah, true that. Ultimo Dragon was an awesome cruiserweight in that WCW, along with Guerrero.
Well, Guerrero, Benoit, Malenko.
Yes.
But the sad part was he won the J Cup. He had the New Japan titles and everything else, but Mercedes Moné is what I would call a charisma vacuum.
And
she doesn't have anything left.
Mm-hmm.
She's a mark too. She's a complete. Oh, and she basically walked out of WWE because she didn't like how she was being used. But at the same time, Vince McMahon basically put you to succeed. He believed in you, and you can't always be on top. You can't always be the be all and end all. There's other talented wrestlers, the women wrestlers there. Yankees suck.
They do. But no, the more I think about it, AEW is doing better now. Even Green Shirt Guy.
Yeah.
That's the one who gets all the front row seats and everything else. He's gone.
I've
rogue
also
trade.
I've also heard rumors about WWE using AI to book their stuff now.
Yeah, no, that'll work. That'll work out well.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've been writing a fanfic, of off the top of my head, and the only thing I use AI for is to have it, revise my misspelling and punctuations because I don't have an editor in real life or can't pay one, so
Have you used Grammarly? That one works.
yeah, I'll probably use that one too.
Yeah,
But
it's free, so you don't have to worry about paying for it. But the way I see it is AEW's women's division, Tony Storm, Statlander are the two best they have right now.
Yeah.
Tony
Monet,
Storm is entertaining in a vulgar type of way, like just the way she the way she cuts her promos. She's just entertaining. I find her
well,
funny.
the fact that she got released from she had to ask for her release because the last thing she did on WWE television was get smacked in the face with a pie by Charlotte Flair, and she's not looked back. So there's that. But my biggest issue with their women's division is Kenny Omega is still trying to book it, and he shouldn't.
Yeah, he's he's a good wrestler, but not a good video game maker.
No, he doesn't know. He doesn't have any earthly idea on what he's doing, and that's
Yeah,
kind of
he
a big
made
problem.
that video game was horrible. I mean, I don't know if you
No,
ever.
it was not great. I didn't
Yeah.
even play it. I have the
I
system
played
for it.
it.
I didn't play it.
I played it, and it was just bad. I mean, it was
Well,
good.
that was
It was
I
good
think
for.
Ukes. I think Ukes ended up helping him with that, but that was not a good showing from Ukes in AEW because you're trying to take something that was great for WWE, but not so great for them because it's not the same thing anymore. Ukes was a good company. I'm not saying they aren't anymore, but it's not the same it once was. It's just not the same.
The career mode was just one dimensional. The cartoony, I like the arcade cartoony aspect of it, but at the same time, the career mode was just boring. It was like it lacked continuity. It lacked a lot of you know like you when you would win the title, that would be it, and then you would move on to another story, and then you win that title, and it didn't it wasn't like the big top four games, WCW versus NWO
Well,
World
they
Tour.
tried to say they took a page out of that book, but I doubt it. Speaking of WWE, it SmackDown was from my hometown in San Jose yesterday. No, on a Friday night. I didn't get tickets to go because TKO didn't drop the prices down until
That's
the
kind
day
of
of.
shitty. I'm sorry to say, but Vince McMahon would make the tickets for families to come because that was the core audience. What are they trying? What audience are they trying to attract? Like the elite?
They want the richer people, and that's not necessarily going to work out. But there was a surprise for the Open Challenge with Sami Zayn.
Oh, that was a good
long
match.
injured Ilya Dragunov comes
Yes.
back and for his first match since I think he tore his ACL.
Yeah, that has to be painful.
But he faces Sami Zayn on Friday night, and he does win the U.S. title from Sami Zayn. So that's a big change because going from Sami Zayn, who a lot of people think have been overexposed and overbooked in the recent months with everything going on.
I think they're trying to poise him for a world title. Run.
I think they're going to have him win next year's Royal Rumble. And you already know somebody's going to get upset about that. They were calling him Sammy Hogan for the longest time because he wasn't winning, but they're sick of the underdog character now. But it's
After
getting
all
to the
those title wins, he's not an underdog much anymore. He's
no, and he's not the underdog from the underground anymore. That's just the way it is. He's not that character anymore. But more on Dragunov. Dragunov is one of the only if Gunther wins the U.S. title, but I don't think Gunther's going to take that step back.
no.
But Dragunov is the only wrestler from NXT UK to win the UK belt, the big UK belt, and the WWE US title. He's the first one to do that. I think he's going to turn this into a workhorse belt like the IC title was for the longest time.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing with Mysterio, I get it. He's supposed to be, pardon my language, the chicken shit heel who does kind of like Honky Tonk Man did, where he wins by cheating and everything else, or wins by count out, disqualification like that.
By cheating? Well,
yeah, pretty much.
That's basically how the heels are. They're like very, very cowardly. They find ways to either injure or in the back in the day, heels were, but the way the heel dynamic is now, it's not as entertaining as it was back in the 80s and the 90s, where, you had Rick Rude putting Jake the Snake Roberts' wife on a pair of tights where the groin area is and swiveling his hips. And then
he got and he ended up kissing Jake's wife at one point, and she refused to. So there's just it's a big switch.
Yeah.
And speaking of big switches, Monday night and the turn from Breaker on Seth freaking Rollins. Everyone thought the Raw was over. Instead, Breaker just waylays Rollins, and he ends up holding up the belt to end the show. Tsunami by Bronson Reed. Those were the two big points of Raw and SmackDown. But they need to really step up their game, because coming out of Crown Jewel, there's not much there. Well, besides the Vision getting with Breaker and Reed turning on Rollins, and now starting tomorrow, that'll be another big one because Jacob Fatu got attacked on SmackDown, and Cody Rhodes came out.
He's out, and then
so that just adds to the list of injuries now, with Rollins being on the shelf as well. But people were hinting that Cody Rhodes is going to turn heel eventually.
Well, yeah, because of what he did to Drew McIntyre with that shot to the head with the title belt. I think that's what ended that title match.
Well, how often do you watch wrestling, Dr. Julian?
He froze, I think.
Oh.
Stupid. There we go. I only watch on Mondays or Fridays generally if I have the time.
Oh.
I used to watch AEW, but once it wasn't when Punk got fired. It was the number one thing where it was just the problem was.
Okay. I heard AEW was going down the tubes.
Yeah, they pretty much are. Because they got, like, right now, there's another wrestler that's been topic of speculation, primarily centered around her status with all AEW, and that's Britt Baker. Here's a summary of the key points. Her AEW hiatus. Britt Baker has been off television since November 2024. As of the date of the search results, her absence has been attributed to a part of outside commitments, including filming for the final season of Cobra Kai. She has also dealt with injuries in the past and a minor stroke, which she's too young to be having those. But, with wrestling, that can happen. And then contract status and rumors. She reportedly signed a 5-year extension with AEW in late 2021, meaning her contract may not expire until late 2026, potentially later if injury time is added. There have been reports that Baker is seeking an earlier release from her AEW contract, with sources citing a feeling that the environment has changed and that there is nothing left for her in the promotion. And then,
It's because with Monet coming in, she feels like she's been replaced as the centerpiece of the division.
Yeah. And then
But
there's other reports indicate that AEW is not looking to grant her a release at this time. And then AEW President Tony Khan has stated that Baker has not discussed leaving and that her absence is due to the company's rotating talent policy, implying she will return when the time is right. And then you got social media changes. Baker removed references to AEW from her social media bios and X and Instagram in March 2025, which further fueled speculation about her future. And then you got WWE interests. If she were to become a free agent, there is internal belief that WWE would be interested in signing her through. There are conflicting reports on WWE's current level of interest, though.
So,
which is what I'm looking at right now.
So, Joey, I was saying earlier that AEW, I've been hearing, has been going down the tubes for the past quite a while now. And what's your thoughts on is WWE still doing much better than
no.
AEW?
They both are the shitter right now. Wrestling in modern times is on life support for the most part, like
quite literally. When they were running against each other on Wednesday nights, when it was NXT versus AEW, AEW was winning. They were doing things right. They had things going right. Right around the time they let CM Punk go and they fired him because they said he was the problem, and turns out he wasn't.
Oh, God. I'm not wrestling.
Because since CM Punk left because of the whole thing, there you go. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
But since CM Punk left, Jack Perry's been on TV. The Bucks have been on TV more often, and they.
He froze again.
Yeah. Technology.
Well, that used to happen to you a lot, David, back in the day.
Yeah.
But when they finally did win the belts, it didn't matter. It was against the Bucks anyways. I think that's their biggest problem is the overexposure, as they call it now.
I'm not a wrestling fan, so I was just curious how wrestling is doing nowadays, this year in general.
Well, when Jesse was watching during the late 90s, because I was much too young at the time, they were averaging anywhere between 7 and 8 million people.
Yep.
Wow.
And that was on a nightly basis, whether it was Monday Night Raw, because SmackDown didn't appear until 1999.
Yeah.
Because it was Monday Nitro and Monday Night Raw at the time. So that's the way that worked out.
And WCW also had Saturday Night and Worldwide, and then WWE had a secondary show. Before that was Sunday Night Heat, which later on became their jobber show, where they show,
Was it because of Hulk Hogan for the viewership?
Closer to the end, yes.
Yeah.
99
the Monday Night Wars were the reason why the shows were getting high views. You had the NWO and you had the Attitude Era.
Yeah, you had Stone Cold, you had Boss Man, The Rock, you had Triple H, you had the Job Squad, Shamrock, all those guys. Hello, Danny.
Hello. How's it going?
Oh, we're just talking a little bit of wrestling right now.
Wrestling. Oh, yes.
And
we're just talking about how things were before David was born.
And what I've been hearing, it looks like it was a good thing I didn't watch any wrestling from what's been going on in the 21st century with wrestling.
Yeah, no, it's after the pandemic, because AEW was running shows during the pandemic, and even then it wasn't high on that because they were only doing it from Jacksonville at the time.
Yeah, Daly's Place.
Daly's Place. But for a brief period of time, they were outdoing WWE. for a brief period of time. But that's just it. Is when they started putting, because it's always about, it's not about what the fans want all the time, but it always is about keeping things interesting, pretty much. And they showed a photo of what Vince looks like now. This sides of his hair are brown. This is, there's a big old white spot here with his hair.
Yeah.
They call it the Polly Walnuts from The Sopranos.
I'm starting to think he's starting to decline health-wise.
No, he's been declining. That's why they kicked. That's why after the controversy they got rid of him. He's He's almost 80. At that point, you don't want to be anywhere near the guy.
I've always been a fan of Vince McMahon, although a bit ironically.
But that's just it. Wrestling has declined so much because they were trying to add old school elements, but they are not putting on great television.
Yeah. Don't let Jordan or Brandon hear you say that, because Brandon will be like this. That's not true.
Yeah, for real.
That's not true. No, I'm just kidding.
I got 2 fingers for the both of them.
Or Jordan. That's not true.
No insult. No insult.
You can talk about it all you want.
Yeah.
But wrestling has not gotten better. It has gotten progressively worse.
And the Triple H's booking has not helped either.
No. I mean, if you want to talk about good booking, NXT's been looking fantastic lately.
I've heard back in 2020, like during the pandemic, the wrestling shows were pre-taped, right?
Yeah, they were. They would tape a majority of them in advance, and they'd have them do COVID testing and everything else, so that way they would have that not hanging over their heads. And they did fine with that. That was not the issue. But they were mostly for the most part, WWE was doing at the home of the Tampa Bay Devil Rays at the time, Tropicana Field.
Oh. Well, good thing.
Okay. The John Cena heel run. I'll go and gloss over that a little bit. But
oh, yeah. John Cena.
After what happened where he turned heel and everything, that was all fine and good. They made him a bad guy. But Triple H's handling of it was worse than it could have been. The whole Travis Scott thing, nobody wanted Travis Scott on their television.
Really?
The Rock wasn't on television for a majority of this run because he was off busy filming movies and everything else. He doesn't even have anything left to do with the XFL because a couple weeks ago, the XFL had issues with operations again. Surprise. And there's that. But the fact that they had to
our home team from the XFL is getting shipped off, and that's the second time. That's like third time San Antonio has gotten fucked over. Our city has gotten fucked over by.
Yeah, that's the third time because that's the San Antonio Brahmas, isn't it?
Yeah, we had the San Antonio Texans from the CFL. Then there was the Commanders.
Yeah, that was from the AAFL.
Yeah, Tom Dundon, a snake. And then we had the Brahmas, and spring football doesn't work, No. Spring football doesn't work.
There's been the XFL, the All Alliance Football, All American Football League. Yeah. And now there's been the XFL. And then there's been the USFL, which has also been around twice.
Yeah.
So, but getting back to my point, they could have booked this so much better. They abandoned it. It due to perceived lack of interest. That was not it at all. He was getting booed. He was getting heat. It's just that Hunter said, "Oh, we can't do this." And then they didn't know what to do with him after he turned. So
there's a lot of things you could have done with him. Like, you could have used, like with me, I would have added his Hollywood stuff to it. Like having like him, like if he rolls out of the ring, having a stunt double from one of his movies come in that looks like him. And
that'd be funny.
Yeah, that would be entertaining. You got to make the heels entertaining. You can't just let them, low blow you.
And kind of why it failed is they didn't add any more interesting aspects. They just said they kept the entrance theme and everything else. They just made it so Nothing changed. You take away the color and everything else. You don't change the theme. You don't make it. You don't give him a new theme. You just have him walking around wearing black. That's just it.
Yeah.
Walking around wearing black clothes. Oh, I hate you people. Cursing more often. Oh, that's edgy in 2025. When in reality,
if they put a little edge on the show and book good, I guarantee you the old wrestling fans would come back. But nowadays,
everyone's hearkening back. And this is for Brandon and Jordan because I know they're both old enough to know better. The Attitude Era ended 24 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
2001 after WrestleMania X7.
Well, that's as old as me.
Yes. So that's just the problem. Sorry, I'm keeping an eye on the football game as well. But still, it's 24 years later after the Attitude Era has ended. We're after WrestleMania 41, which is 24 Manias after. And the fact of the matter is they had to make WrestleMania 2 nights because they're trying to pump more money out of people because that's the way they want to do things.
That's because WWE is $30 million in the hole right now because of that sale that Vince did. He was like, ha ha, see you later, pal. He's like this.
Yeah, no, it's not worked out well at all for them in the long run. All he's done since he's left, he disgraced himself again because of the Janelle Grant thing.
Yeah, that is.
Go ahead, David.
I want to read this comment quick. Tyler Calver says, let David run WWE and make the wrestlers do game shows.
Well, they have had wrestlers on Family Feud and such.
Yeah, and they had they were on Fear Factor as well. They were on Weakest Link.
They did Weakest Link.
But here's the biggest problem: is
I've
noticed this recently. They're making them into social media darlings. That's not the way it was. You keep the two things separate. I'm sorry, they keep the two things separate. Because I'm not one of those guys, but it's just like, how much more deader do you have to make kayfabe at this point? Like, I give him credit with the whole fake injury to Seth Rollins thing. That I give him a lot of credit for.
Yeah.
But everything has been sugar-coatery bullshit lately, and I don't think that's going to help. Because that's what's making everything suck right now. And I know Brandon's just like, you can't say sucks. You can't say that about my wrestling. It does suck right now.
Yeah. I'd be willing to come up with an argument for that too.
Ever since I was born, mind you.
Maybe even before.
Yeah, it's not been. The last time they had a decent year was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Their high point. Aggression. Yeah, when Ruthless Aggression came out. But here's the other problem is it seems like every WrestleMania they go back to some place. They went back to New Orleans after WrestleMania 30 to WrestleMania 34. Mania 31 was right up the street from where in San Francisco it was about a couple miles from where I live in San Jose. It's not that far from here. I was not going to be able to get tickets, and I was working that night. But Mania 32 is in Texas. Mania 33, one of the worst ones of all time, was in Florida, and it was not great. 35 was in New Jersey because they had to go back to MetLife after WrestleMania 29 was there. WrestleMania 36 went back to Florida, and it got canceled. They had to do it in the Thunderdome. 37, still in Florida. 38, they ended up doing it. I don't remember. I'll remember where WrestleMania 38 was.
Well, I don't know. I just glad I never watched wrestling to begin with.
Yeah. Well, after Mania 22, it was WrestleMania 20 when they were at Madison Square Garden. But after I I think it was WrestleMania 10 when they started going to bigger and better venues. Mania 11, Mania 12, Mania 13. But once it got to like Mania X7, that was when they were at the Astrodome, the old stadium where the Astros used to play. Then X18, I think was 19 was at Safeco Field. 18, I don't remember. But it's when they started going to stadium shows. Oh, I'm sure he stands by the statement of saying wrestling sucks.
There's your AI slop for the night.
AI.
Yeah, that's pretty damn close, but still.
I've been like
wrestling has gotten worse, and I will say that much.
wrestling is just not as great as it used to be. But speaking of another topic I got, how many of y'all watched Power Rangers as kids? Okay, I got something for you here.
I didn't actually watch it.
So there's this. At times, I'll venture off from the Renegades because I'm a part to watch this YouTuber who I've talked to David about, called Henry Resilient. So he has pissed off Power Ranger actors, and he's gonna tell you guys why. So I'm gonna do a video, a screen share.
Well, it's not copyright.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he won't copyright us. Okay. I mean, he lets other people use his stuff. Okay, here we go. All right.
Sounds like he needs to mind his own business. Is what he needs to do.
He basically brings to light what they've done to the fans. Basically, these actors have scammed fans, like the Blue Turbo Ranger. Yeah, the Blue Turbo Ranger slept with Jason David Frank's daughter when she was 16. So, yeah, this is some like eye-opening stuff on how not to meet your heroes.
Power Rangers actors hate me. Why?
Power Rangers.
Because I expose fan stories of how they were treated by Power Ranger actors. Things that would normally get swept under the table by other content creators. Content creators who would interview these people and not even speak of the order because they know not to. And when you think of the order, what are you talking about, right? This is the Power Ranger movie that raised over $100,000 by none other than yours truly, Karen, Ashley, and co. And end up nothing happened. No movie. They blamed it on SAG when the harsh reality is they tried to literally charge people $1,000 in exchange for a SAG membership. And when literally a Power Ranger who was in SAG literally went to SAG and said, "Is this okay?" SAG literally was like, "Nope, no," and shut their ass down, fined them. And instead of that money going to the movie, it went to fines and locations. All right. But meanwhile, the only thing they ever filmed was this trailer, right? But this is
what happened was the people that spent their little money on it didn't get their money returned. The only people that got their money returned, or half of it, they took a loss basically. So that was that was quiet for the most part. And he's a former private investigator, so he dug into it. Yeah, he dug into it because the fans wanted to know what happened. You know, he basically gives a voice to the voiceless. He gives people that have been screwed over by these Power Ranger actors. Not all of them are bad. I'm just saying, just the ones highlighted in there.
Sure.
Yeah, he basically takes their stories and they give them proof and stuff, and that's why Blake Foster tried to intimidate Henry by doxing him. His work, his family and stuff. You know, just to try and intimidate this guy, and he ain't stopping. You know, he's as long as there's a fan out there that's been screwed over by these Power Ranger actors, he's gonna cover it. So he's got some balls. He's got some balls of steel, but you know,
balls of steel.
Yeah,
bigger than this, right? This is the face of hypocrisy. All of these people have dirt on their hands. Even Catherine Sutherland, Nakia, the most religious people of the crew, who use their religion to hide behind as a shield to cover up their association with known Power Ranger scammers like Sky Frank, who is a wolf that they put in the fucking hen house, who has a reputation for scamming fans in the Power Ranger community long before she started coming forward acting like she was sad about the passing of her father. And if you talk to anyone who has dealt with her in private, they would tell you how much she despised her father. But because it could make her some money, it's a play, right? But what recently came to light is Blake Foster's allegedly sleeping with Sky Frank. And you have to wonder, right? Why would Jason David Frank think that Blake Foster had an inappropriate relationship with his underage daughter, right? And guess what? All of these people know about it. They know about not only the allegations of him sleeping with Sky when she was underage, all the fans who came forward, all the evidence against Blake Foster, right? And what do they do, right? Do you think they distance themselves from him? Do you think they hold him accountable? No.
Oh, that sounds hilarious.
Well, yeah, that's based. Huh?
Nothing.
Yeah, that's some crazy stuff.
That is some crazy stuff.
Yeah, it's and recently Henry had to go to the cops because of Blake Foster doxing him because basically, you know, he's afraid that someone's going to go and, you know, do something to him. Yeah.
If he has evidence, that's entirely fine.
You know, it's crazy what content creators have to go through, you know, doing what they love, you know. That's his thing. He likes to do that. It's hard because I grew up watching that show. I was a big fan of Power Rangers. Who
was your favorite character?
Of course, Jason David Frank, you know, the Green Ranger.
What about you, Joey?
I didn't really have a favorite Ranger at the time, but I did like Dino Thunder. Dino Thunder was a good one.
Yeah, I love Dino. I remember seeing Jason David Frank in Dino Thunder, and I was like, I thought he quit. And then I sat there and I watched, and my girlfriend was looking at me, calling me a dork, but that's another story for another time.
A dork. Wow.
Yeah. Well, you know,
that could have been worse.
People are allowed to have interest on certain subjects.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying it's whether or not it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
You really have to think about is this. If you're really willing to go that far, I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not going to be neutral about this, but you really can't just go snooping in someone else's life. You have to realize the consequences of it all. And whether or not he's going to... Because I don't find that okay that he got doxxed, but still.
Yeah, sure.
It's more about whether or not you're willing to go through someone's dirty laundry like that.
Yeah.
Because
Amen.
Jason David Frank was a great person. Unfortunately, he didn't have great mental capacity, and unfortunately, he passed due to self-inflicted wounds. So that's just the way.
He that's how he got popular. He basically, because like the fans were blaming his wife, right? So what happened was Henry started, you know, covering that, and the fans wanted answers, and he basically, you know, his brother had a history of suicide in his self-deletion. I'll say self-deletion or self-transition.
So that's not, but he did his best. He did his best for the longest time.
His brother basically passed away in the same
But
manner
it's
of
not.
it, and it just
It's not easy to do something like that and go on for so long and then have to put up with and that shouldn't be his legacy, is having to deal with his kid be that way. And especially with someone else associated with something that he was a part of for years.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not giving him. I wouldn't give Henry permission to do what he did.
Yeah. Trust me, he got Henry got his Jason David Frank's friend Tony Diaz got pissed off about it, and he was like, basically told him like, you shouldn't dig, bro. Some things were meant to be kept private. And what happened was his personal assistant came forward too, and they basically he interviewed his wife Tammy. And
yes,
Tammy,
but you can't go digging for dirt.
Yeah.
That's
You
not
you have to learn the situation the hard way
Yeah.
on your own.
Sometimes the dirt is out there for the taking very
Yeah.
easily.
and it's all
Yes.
and it's all public knowledge,
But another thing is, once it becomes public knowledge, don't dig more.
Exactly. It's a waste of time.
There's always going to be a problem at the end of that tunnel. Just because there's light doesn't mean there's not going to be someone with a blunt object at the end of it to hit you in the knee or over the head or whatever.
Right.
That's why I mean, like, certain content creators. I mean, I commend Henry for what he's doing with the fans. The fans that are getting,
Attack.
yeah, screwed over by the Power Ranger actors. He's bringing that to light, and I commend him.
And
for that.
that's one thing, but at certain points you have to kind of worry about your own safety in more than one way.
Yeah, and that's what I worry about Henry, because I know he does that for he does that, but it's starting to. He has a fat. We've dealt with obsessed people, right, David, in our community.
Yeah. Me and Danny
who go on talking trash about you, basically. But when they start doxing you, that's scary.
Fortunately, we haven't had to deal with that, although I think Eric had to deal with something somewhat close to that. I don't know how far it went.
I mean, Chayton has dealt with that before,
I don't understand why people can't just leave well enough alone, though.
Yeah.
Like, there's many of time where people need to just let shit go. Because unhealthy obsessions, that normally
there's this guy, like, we've had a certain hero been obsessed with one of our own in the community, a guy named Hero, and then we've had other people going low and just showing pictures of family. There's this guy named Rican Ranger who's doing the same to Henry because of a meme. Like,
this is why when you get in too deep, that's specifically what I mean. You can't get yourself in so deep that you can't get yourself out of said hole like that.
There's been content creators who had fans visit their home. That is scary.
Miranda Cosgrove,
yeah.
Content creators. Is the word so correctly?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
David, why are you? Is that supposed to be a Bryce Harper jersey?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yep.
One of my friends from high school, he was a big fan of Bryce Harper.
I was too. I am
just because. And I've learned this. I learned where friends lived, and I normally and generally, if a person is a celebrity, you give them what they're normal people at the end of the day, like you and I. You leave them alone. There's no reason to bother them, pester them, and the same thing happens with wrestlers even now. They had to make that explicitly clear. Don't go harass them at the airport. Don't go harass them at their hotel, and sure as hell don't go harass them at their home, because there's been many violent incidents with such a thing, and they
especially
have the right
what happened to Rhea Ripley. Remember when those fans? I forgot what country.
Yeah,
she
no,
was
that
in.
was
Yeah.
not cool.
They
You have to
surrounded
leave
her.
these people alone. Like
They're
now,
just regular. They're just regular people. That's what I always do with celebrities. I treat them as
yeah,
normal beings.
you have to treat them as if they were like us. Because yes, they're popular and yes, they have a higher status. But that doesn't mean at the end of the day that they aren't human.
It's like what the old saying is: if you give them respect, you'll give
Well,
respect back
respect
to you.
has to be earned, and if you are willing to put your reputation on the line for something like that, that's another big issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just because you know somebody who's a celebrity doesn't mean you're going to go constantly.
Hell, I've had interactions with Carlos Mencia with my family. You know, my dad was friends with Carlos Mencia. You know,
But still,
doesn't
it's
mean
just
that
like
doesn't
if
mean
you
we
know them
bothered
like
him.
family,
Yeah,
that's one thing. If you're friends with
Carlos
them, that's
Mencia
one
was
thing.
very good to my family, man. He was
There you
very,
go.
Yeah, he
And
would let us go into shows after without paying. He would let us watch shows. I even got
Also, make sure you always say please or
manners, specifically manners.
So
But
Carlos
that
was
was
a good-
always the thing is if you're going to establish a relationship with somebody like that, you want to make sure you don't overstep your bounds.
It was like
The
that one
boundaries,
time,
yes.
Joey. The bands Thin Lizzy and this is back in 2003. The bands Thin Lizzy and Deep Purple were on tour, and they were staying at the hotel I worked. I knew I was a big fan of them, you know, growing up, and I wanted to get a autograph.
You wanted
But
to
you
get
know
an
what?
autograph,
But
obviously.
I thought different because one, I wasn't willing to lose my job over it. Right?
Right, because that harkens back to the
You
because
cannot do that as
me,
employees.
well, me, David, Johnny, and Jesse all know about poor Josh and his job when he was working for Wrigley at Wrigley Field, and how he couldn't do a certain number of things because that would have cost him his job.
Really?
Because he couldn't go talk to the players unless they addressed him.
One of
which
my coworkers
I normally
did. He went up to
wouldn't
John
do
Sykes.
anyways.
He went up to John Sykes and got his autographs, and I was like, "Ooh, man, I was thinking to myself, dude, you are pushing it."
One of my
But
bosses from Walgreens from the old days, he said like years ago at another store he worked, apparently in Florida, I think it was. He said that Pauly Shore came into the store.
That's funny. The guy from Biodome. That's the only reason I
it's
really know.
Man. You have to see
that too.
The
Squeezing the
Weasel.
juice. But I've met athletes and everything. I got to meet Uke. I got to meet Kevin Euclid years ago when I was working at my first job. Nicest guy, shook his hand, got to take a picture. But I asked, but that was the number one thing was I asked nicely. I didn't appear like a giddy fan. I didn't go, no.
I mean, I've seen celebrities, and I get starstruck, but I don't approach them.
I don't know how I would act. I mean, polka celebrities, that really doesn't count as celebrities because they really don't have that big of a following.
Polka sucks. That's why.
It does not. It does not.
No.
Yeah, it's like screw you, David.
The one guy that was so famous that back when he was at his peak was Ichiro, and you used to be able to send stuff to him if you had his address, and he was very kind. He would sign and everything else. He was never a bad guy. All you ever had to do was sign the name to Ichiro on something. They would send it to Japan, and that's how famous he was. You didn't need his address. It would just say, to Ichiro. It would go to Japan. It would come back. Very kindly written note. And people don't know. Ichiro is fluent in English. He just doesn't use it all the time. He's a very smart individual. And even now, at the age of 51, he's still doing what he loves. He still goes out there every day and plays.
And I saw his Hall of Fame
scrimmage games too. And that, I think, is the most humbling thing you can do is still be in love with your job and willing to do stuff. And he's just this nice, down-to-earth guy. And that's all. And if you ever meet people like that, That is the nicest thing you could ever have, is just these calm, down-to-earth people. Like, when I first met Gio Gonzalez when he was with the A's in 2009, I asked if I could get an autograph from him, and I got an autograph from Andrew Bailey, who's now the pitching coach for the Giants. Andrew Bailey was such a nice guy. Gio Gonzalez, very nice, kind people. Like, these athletes, they're human. You treat them like they're human. You have a nice conversation with them. It's fantastic. But some of these people, they just want to be left alone, specifically wrestlers. Like, if they've had a long, hard day.
Could you imagine Taylor Swift if she ever goes out in public? Although she probably doesn't anymore. But could you imagine how she feels?
Well, that's the thing. The Chiefs played today at Arrowhead, so she was probably there.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I get it. Like I was talking about the other day, and because you're not in our group chat, but I like Shohei Ohtani as a player.
Yeah.
But the whole thing with him is the gambling thing. That's never going to go away.
Never.
As good of a player as he was, that gambling thing is never going to go away because, yes, the whole thing with the interpreter, but how much of that being put on the interpreter versus the whole thing with Emmanuel Clase right now?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you guys know about this. He's never going to play baseball again.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, no, they got enough evidence on him, just in general, never pitch in the majors again.
Damn.
That is how bad it is to gamble on sports. And that's why the whole Pete Rose thing and him being reinstated. I'm not saying that was a bad thing. It's just that they waited until after he died.
Yeah, that's the one thing I find shitty about certain
and then they retire his number this year in Cincinnati. And they have Pete Rose Day. They give him a patch on the uniform. Always celebrate your athletes while you're alive. I'm not saying Pete Rose was a good person.
Yeah.
And he
Doug
probably
Williams
wasn't.
From the Buccaneers, former running back, passed away today.
Oh, Doug Martin. That's right.
Yeah, Doug Martin. Doug Martin. My bad.
Yeah, Doug Martin. He was known as the muscle hamster. He passed away today. And he was 36, but that was one of two unfortunate passings today. The ex-Mariner prospect, Jesus Montero, passed away today. But he died of complications from a motorcycle accident. Unfortunately,
and then
he was
the
only
bass
35.
player from my favorite
and
band
the bass
growing
player
up.
from Limp Bizkit, he passed away today. He was only 48, and then yesterday, Ace Frehley passed away.
Yeah, that was
74. So that's 5 really unfortunate passings in less than 24 hours. So
usually they just come in threes. That's 5 in one day.
Yeah, 5 in a day and a half. So there's going to be at least one more, sadly.
This is, you see, I hate celebrities that's the way I do, but if people say that's gonna ruin their year, then not this way.
No.
Because it happens every year. Some years.
Well, the one that I think about the most every day, and you'd be surprised, is Keith Richards.
Keith Richards?
Yeah, Keith Richards. Robin Williams told a joke, and it was a dark joke, but it was funny. He said, whatever the cure for everything is, it's inside of Keith Richards. Because he went through every drug by the time he was 30 years old. He's in his 80s now. He stopped doing drugs and everything 50 some odd years ago, and he's still alive.
Yeah.
So
my stepdad would say the same thing about Ozzy when he was still living. Because I remember when Ronnie James Dio passed away, he goes, my stepdad would say, Ozzy snorted ants, Ozzy did drugs, and yet he's still living, and Dio, who only drank,
the thing about it is
away.
People don't seem to understand this, but the whole biting the head off of the bat, that never happened. It was a tall tale. It was a myth. He never bit the head off a bat.
He did one time on stage, and he had to go to the hospital because of it to get treated. It was accidental, but he did. There was one incident where he was at a record meeting, and he took a pigeon's head and he bit it off. That's where that originated from.
Yeah,
he took a pigeon's head
that's
and
not
bit it off.
I don't think he would actually have done that. But that relates to the whole thing with Randy Johnson and the bird.
Yeah.
everything like that is an accident for the most part. Like Dave Winfield in the Seagull, where he threw the ball and he killed the Seagull on accident.
Oh,
I
God.
doubt it's going to be. I doubt somebody would be that violent on
That's
purpose.
Curb Your Enthusiasm, all the stuff there. What, David?
If you don't know what the Randy Johnson thing is, it was during spring training, I think, and
it was spring training of 01 against the Giants.
Yeah, and then he threw a fastball and it killed a bird.
Yeah, the bird just literally exploded.
Yeah.
Well, there's a picture.
That's almost like that Curb Your Enthusiasm episode where Larry kills a black swan at a golf course with the.
Oh God, and that was like the episode where he's at the Staples Center and he trips up Shaq and hurts.
Yes, that's another good one. That's another good one.
Yeah, no, he's just stretching out. He's got his feet hanging over, and then Shaq goes from the scorer's table to check in, and he stumbles over him and he starts going, "My knee."
Yeah.
But no, there's those freak accidents and everything else that happen in sports. Like the worst freak accident besides the whole thing with Dave Trevecki where he broke his arm and everything while he was pitching. Tom Browning did that. Tony Saunders was one of the worst ones because he was pitching against, I think it was Juan Gonzalez. He throws the ball and you see his UCL and MCL right here. You just see it go, and his arm goes limp and starts flailing around at that point because he ripped up this entire part of his elbow, and all you see is him screaming and banging his arm against the turf of Tropicana. It was bad. Hello, Emo. But freak accidents happen because the worst one I ever seen, and I only learned about it about 15, 20 years ago.
Michael Irvin?
Bryce Flory.
No, I'm not going to say
Bryce Flory was pitching for the, I think it was September 8th, 2000. No, September 8th, 2000. Yes. He's throwing to, I think his name was Kevin Thompson or Ryan Thompson, one of those guys. He throws the ball. The ball hits him right here, and his face just implodes pretty much. He would go on to recover, but he had blood streaming down his nose and everything else. Like, it hit him right on the bridge of the nose, and he never played Major League Baseball again, but he was not the same pitcher after that. He was just, they didn't show it after that, but he took a line drive. If it was not 100 miles an hour, I don't know if it was, but it was just the most violent incident. Tony Conigliaro was another one where he took a fastball right to the. There's a picture of him on an old Sports Illustrated in 1967, I think it was, or 68. But he has this big old black shiner on his left eye, and it was on sport. It was in a Sports Illustrated. It was just this horrible accident. But that's what they mean by freak accidents, because it's an accident. It doesn't happen on purpose. Nobody's trying to hurt each other on purpose. I mean, honestly, there's been so many bad things to happen in sports, but it was never on purpose. Even Joe Theismann, the whole thing with Joe Theismann, Lawrence Taylor apologized to him.
Oh yeah,
when he
hit him and broke his leg.
Well, it wasn't on purpose.
It wasn't on purpose.
Justin Turner in spring training. I saw him got hit in the face.
Wait, my bad.
It's accidental.
Sorry, Emo.
It's completely most of these are completely accidental, but the weirdest part about the Theismann injury was that it happened in Alex Smith. Same day, same month, same years later. I think it was 30 some odd years later. Alex Smith breaks his leg in the same area, same yard line and everything.
Oh.
And that was the same thing happened. The left tackle got knocked out of the game. This really good left tackle got knocked out of the game, and then the bad left tackle lets the guy come through, and all you see is the whole thing. Oh boy, what a stop. But the whole thing it's the same injury, but Alex Smith, and I give the guy the most respect in the world because of how he came back from it. Our quad muscles are large, depending on who the human being is, but it's about this big. The quad muscle is naturally about this big and maybe about this wide. So that's where his calf is now. That's where his quad muscle is in his calf muscle. It took him 2 years to get back into playing, but it was the most miraculous comeback ever. He won Comeback Player of the Year. He had his leg restructured and everything else. He played one more season, retired.
Yeah.
That was it.
What's that?
But it's little stuff like that, like comebacks are what dreams are made of, pretty much.
Yeah.
You never see this, and I don't think anybody will. That's why the whole Ripken thing, the Cal Ripken Jr. streak is never going to be broken because
never
2,632 consecutive games. You realize how healthy you have to be this day and age? He did that from 1982 until 1998. And God rest the guy's soul, Ryan Miner, who was the guy who replaced Cal for the final game. He passed away, I think it was last year. So, but just to be clear, that's not a small number that you have to of games you have to play in a row. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, longevity.
He started them too, right? All of them.
He started all of those. He started 2,632 games in a row, and as a shortstop, which is it's considered one of the captains of the field. But divide that by 162. You'd have to play 16 consecutive years in a row to do that again. And I think the longest streak was Miguel Tejada at one point. No one's since then. When he had over 1,100 games. But that was, even then, that's a lot. Because
people get hurt all
time is Everett Scott. People don't seem to remember that name, but before Ripken did it, it was Lou Gehrig and then Everett Scott, who was completely forgotten in this day and age. But he was the one who Lou Gehrig eclipsed long before he became the Iron Horse. But he played, I'm not sure the exact number, I'm looking it up right now, but he played right around the same amount of time, but he passed away in 1960, and he was 67. He ended up playing until 1926, so 3 years into Lou Gehrig's career. So I think Lou Gehrig came up in 1923.
Over 100 years.
Yeah.
David was wondering about my hat. This is my new Mizzou baseball cap.
That's nice.
I'm cosplaying as a frat boy, so I'm like, yeah, bro, I go to Mizzou, no big deal. And I watched. Mizzou. I had a few comments about the shirt, Chain Reaction. There we go.
That's actually a nice shirt. I liked Chain Reaction. It was a very nice show, but
yes, it was.
This right here is one of my most proudest baseball players.
I was gonna say that's the captain. That's Veritek.
Mm-hmm. The real captain in baseball history, mind you.
But the record for most games in a row appeared in was 1,307 by Everett Scott. He's now number 3, but he played 13 seasons, and he was a 4-time World Series champion, including being one of the last guys before 2004 to win a World Series with Boston, let alone 3. He was on the last 3 Red Sox teams before 2004. So that's a bit of history you guys learned today. Yeah. But if you don't, I'm going to head out for the evening. Yeah. But thank you guys again for just riffing a bit with me. Because I know
I'm heading out too. I'm glad we had this time together, though I didn't speak too much. Oh, well, it happens.
But there is Game 7 tomorrow, so that'll be really interesting.
I'm going to tune in that one.
Well, that's just it. The last time the Blue Jays played a Game 6 of any kind was 1993.
Yeah.
32 years. And I think it was October 15th, 1993 was when Joe Carter hit the home run.
Yeah. I remember having the holograph. I don't know if you ever seen those holographic cards.
No,
I had a baseball, of him hitting the home run, where it's just they would move like that, and he would just.
No, those need to make a comeback.
Yes.
It used to be where you'd be able to move the card a certain way, and it would show a pitcher throwing a baseball, Like they did that one with Roger Clemens. They did it with Joe Carter. Like those are valuable.
Yes.
Those were so
I
valuable.
regret losing that card too, man. I was like,
here's another part of history.
Especially now.
Yeah.
Here's another part of history. The Dodgers, not only, if Toronto makes it in 1993, Seattle for the first time ever, but also with the Dodgers, they're the first team since the Yankees that made it to back-to-back World Series.
Yeah.
As the Red Sox.
Too bad they're going to be the. I hate to say it, but they're going to be the first team to lose back-to-back World Series in this century too.
Yeah.
For the Dodgers,
because I want Seattle to win. I really do. That is the number one thing. It's Seattle or bust at this point because I don't think a team has repeated since 2000.
Seattle or Blue Jays. This upcoming.
Do you think it'll be bad if the Dodgers start doing World Series repeats, Joey? Do you think that would ruin baseball?
I'm not saying it would, but the last time that any team has repeated, I mean legitimately repeated in World Series winning, was the 90s Yankees. That was 90, 98, 99, and 2000. There hasn't been a repeat since 2000 when the Yankees won. It was 99, 98, 99, 2000. That was the last three-peat. And I mean actual, honest-to-goodness three-peat. I'm not talking about where it was the Lakers or the Heat or whoever, the Patriots. Yeah. But baseball doesn't see repeat champions. It hasn't seen it in almost 30 years. So that's
the
one
Spurs ruined the Heat, though. I will always love that. When Greg Popovich built that 2014 team to dismantle the LeBron James Heat.
And that was what it was meant. That's what's meant to be done.
Yeah.
You just beat a team by being better depth-wise. You don't have to be buying players.
Yeah.
And that was the thing they used to say about the Yankees was the best team money can buy.
Really?
And that was all they were, was for the years. They were the best team money can buy. Look at that 2009 team. Burnett, they bought him. Sabathia, they bought him. Teixeira, they bought him. And they haven't been back since. Because guess what? Money talks, bullshit walks. Excuse my language. But the Yankees have not been back except for last year because they made it on the back of one man. And now he's on the Mets, and they can't get him back. Juan Soto was going to get them there. I will say that. He would have gotten them there.
Yeah, and with the Mets, I was saying this in group chat earlier. They also buy in players, but they still don't make it to postseason. It's just...
It's $1 billion. $1 billion, which is almost unheard of. You want to talk about somebody being a billionaire. There's so few of those, but I couldn't have fathomed when I was 9 years old, when I was playing the old school baseball games, that I would pay anybody anywhere near 200, 300, 400, $500 million, let alone up to 700. I think the most I ever paid any player in any game was $25.6 million over 7 seasons. And even then, they didn't want the contract. And I'm just like, you had one MVP, you got a ring, why don't you want the money? They said I'm not being paid enough.
I have 2 reasons why I'll be happy the Dodgers win. 1, Rafael Devers will be lying with the Giants. And 2, the Dodgers will win it for the city of LA after they had the wildfires earlier at the beginning of the year. Those are my only 2 reasons.
At this point, it's not about who wins and who loses. It's about ending the, and that's gonna do it. No, it's too soon. It's Atlanta. It's too soon. But still,
all right, guys.
Once you have something to fight for, that's one thing. But you can't. How do I put this? I'm not against the Dodgers repeating. I'm not. But the way they emphasized ruining baseball pisses me off. But I'll digress. I'll digress, and I'll get out of here before I start. Because I went on enough rants during that 30-minute show to last people lifetimes.
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't long rants, mind you. They were 5 minutes, and I'd shut up because I knew if I keep going, it's like that card trick where the magician pulls all the cards out of his mouth. All 50
and then at this point, I'm like, does anyone else talk on the show?
We do.
Well, I let them have as much talking time as they want. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
All right, I'm out of here, guys. Good night.
Good night, Johnny.
Yeah,
Good night, guys.
Good night, Joey. And there were
Now we're down to 4.
We almost had enough for another weakest link game there. Rats.
Yeah.
Danny, this is not Jerry 1000.
Yeah. Well, it can. I mean, I'm not gonna bite off David. That would be bad. That would make me look bad if I try to take elements from people's shows and use them on here. Plagiarism. Huh?
It'll be interesting to see if the Dodgers actually hasn't done it since the Yankees. But the Dodgers, how they spend money, not only by finding money, but deferring the money. It's going to be interesting. But if they're starting pitching, who knows, anything could happen. Anyway, so Danny, so tell us about your future polka plans.
Well, in Cleveland, they had the thing on Thanksgiving weekend, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to go to that because just how
I said 2026.
I know, but that's the one of the 2 big festivals, so that's in about a month. But I probably won't do that unless something really crazy happens. But the next festival is in February in the Chicago area. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to that yet, but I might go there just to meet up with our friend Josh Salisbury.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Because this year in 2025, I didn't even want to go. I only went because a friend of mine from Canada, who I hadn't met in person yet, was kind of on the fence. I'm like, hey, man, I'm only going to go if you're going to go. And he said, okay, we'll go. So then we went to the festival and we went to see a Blackhawks game. So that was fun as well.
Chicago Blackhawks.
So right now, it's looking like I would say maybe 70% chance that I don't go to Chicago this year, but we'll see what happens.
Just be careful out there when you go.
Yeah.
Any travels.
Yeah, you should go to the south side.
Maybe, yeah. But the other poker festivals, they're in Ohio and in Pennsylvania, and that's too far for me to go. I could fly if I really wanted to, but I don't care enough to do it at this
Fly
point.
to Chicago?
No, to like Ohio or Pennsylvania. Chicago's only like 5 hours away from me. 5 hours away, Chicago.
Oh, I know. That's how I was like, wait, what? No, it's Ohio. Yeah. Well, you should go to Wheel of Fortune Live.
Well, I will be going to Wheel of Fortune Live in 2 days from now. That's in St. Louis.
All right.
I believe it might be hosted by Mark L. Wahlberg. So David, you might have 2 people that took a picture with Mark. We'll see what happens.
Wait, 2 people. Well,
because you took a picture with Mark Wahlberg when you saw him in 2023 of Wheel of Fortune. So maybe I will get 2 in a couple days if he's there. We'll see what happens.
Well, if you're in the front row, like in with the seats, that'll give you a chance to meet him if you're in the front row, because that's
right.
That's what he was there, kind enough for me, my friend, so I said, hey, can I get a picture out of the second wife?
Right.
So now I met 3 game show hosts in person: Michael Wahlberg, Jim Carrey, and George Michael. I think that's like the 3 game show hosts I met in person.
Yeah.
If there's anything else, we're not counting online, of course. But, and I met 2 game show malls in person because of the process so now I just need to meet.
Maggie Stage. No, that's who I want to meet. But
and Sajak's daughter.
Yes.
See, Daddy likes her.
I would actually like to meet Ken Jennings.
Oh yes, he'd be excellent to meet.
Yeah, and I asked him, hey, tell me about those microchip stories.
I would say, hey Ken, how's FedEx? Because that was his losing answer. That was his losing answer back in the old days.
And I thought that was his side hustle job.
Oh no, his side hustle. He was a Mormon missionary before he was on Jeopardy.
Well,
actually, let me look at the J archive because they say the occupations of all the people there, like the description that Johnny Gilbert reads. Because I don't remember what they said Ken did for a living back then. I knew he worked for some kind of place.
I thought he worked for children's sports.
Oh, he was a software engineer.
Oh, okay.
But he was also a missionary for the Mormon Church because that was a question on some other show I saw earlier in the month.
Well, let me see here. So, speaking of jobs, Jason, what type of part-time or full-time jobs you had in the past?
I was mostly into. I got in at 17. I got into the. I was into the hospitality business. I started out as a busser, and then I started working, restaurants and hotels and stuff like that. And well, I tell you, that's some backbreaking work, especially if you're working in a restaurant.
I know this guy above me worked at a restaurant. It's the Beauregard.
Is he a waiter or a busboy?
No, I'm talking. Emo. Jesse has a question. Is Emo hearing this or?
Brandon, can you hear us?
I can hear you, Danny. I can hear you, Jesse. I can't hear David.
Okay.
Testing 1 2. Hello.
Basically,
Jesse asked him of what.
Yeah, I basically I learned that you work in a restaurant. So are you a waiter or a busboy?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't work at a restaurant.
Oh.
I mean, like, ask him about McDonald's. I thought you worked at McDonald's.
No, I don't do McDonald's anymore.
Oh, you don't?
No,
okay.
I meant in the past. Like, what job at McDonald's did you had in the past? That's what I'm saying.
I was just going back and forth between cleaning the dining room, the lobby, and then doing the register.
That's what I did. Well, not the lobby, but I mean, not the register, but that's what I did. I would clean the lobby, and I was the maintenance guy at Popeyes, Fort Saint Popeyes.
Oh,
for a while.
Popeyes.
Yeah. Love that chicken for Popeyes.
That's almost like that Family Feud. What's Popeye's favorite food? And this woman said, chicken. It's spinach.
Sub Snowman and the chicken wiggle. So Danny, tell Jesse the jobs you had.
The jobs that I've had, well, I worked at a restaurant and that lasted about 4 months. I didn't like it at all.
Yeah.
They gave me,
I didn't know how you feel.
It was like more than what I expected it to be. Like they didn't tell me that they were going to make us do these certain things, and then I went to
cleaning the bathrooms.
I never had to do that.
Oh, I hated that, especially when I had to clean the women's restrooms.
Oh God, that's what
David do that.
That's what David should do for a living, I think.
Yeah. Oh, what was that email?
I still sort of do that at Publix.
That's what David should do for a living. He should just clean women's restrooms all day.
all you would see is David get slapped by a woman, and then it cuts right into the Curb Your Enthusiasm and
yes. And then
Danny, if I did that, I'll just make sure to put a poster of my YouTube channel.
Anyway, So after I worked at the restaurant, then as you know, I went to Walgreens and did that for about 35 years. No, I'm kidding. It was only 4 years, but it felt like 35 years.
I would have been like, "Hey, wait a minute! You're in your 20s.
That
That
felt,
doesn't math
sometimes
correctly."
it felt like I was there for a long time, for longer than that. But
Well,
only 4 years, and
especially
then
being at a place for a year, it feels like you've been there forever.
yes. And for a few months, I was doing both Walgreens and my current job because I would still work at Walgreens like once every 2 or 3 weeks if they needed a fill-in. But I decided to drop Walgreens altogether officially in August, and now I work just at the call center.
And when Danny left, he went like this. Suck it.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting for me to work at a call center and say, "Hey, can you subscribe to my YouTube channel?"
Oh no, they would listen to the calls and say, Danny, you can't say that on the call." Yeah.
I mean, there's people that have been fired for filming TikTok dances while they're on the clock.
Oh God, yes.
I would probably get a copyright strike if I showed like videos of that happening, and they would be like, "What did you do? I can't put stuff on my channel no more," and I would have to never hear the end of it.
TikTok should be banned, and I hate that our president.
I like TikTok, although I never post anything on there, but I do enjoy TikTok.
I mean, I watch TikTok, some for like content creators like Moontel that and funny couple stuff, when couples do stupid stuff to each other or skits and but then what made me leave TikTok was the constant political shit. I got tired of it, and then just like, you know what? I'm gonna take a break from TikTok, and then I'm like, screw the left, screw the right.
Yeah, because there was an awful lot of it from both sides on there. But the right, they love TikTok now because Trump helped it from getting officially shut down, or at least extended the time that they could stay up.
Well, it'll be interesting for me to work at a call center and hear people complain.
Could you imagine David working at a call center?
I don't know.
Did you know in 1990 something the Yankees shook?
Yeah.
Hey,
did you know? Did you know that the Yankees and the New York Jets are? Well, actually, the New York Jets, man. Oh my God, there are a bomb threat of a franchise. Seriously, like they're in what? This is week 7. No shit.
And they just can't protect their quarterback.
What do they have? Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Justin Fields. He needs to go to the field and.
What would you? I mean, that would be crazy if the Jets finish 0-17.
Mm-hmm.
So, who are you going for the final Game 7, David? Jays or the Mariners? Hey, Brandon, the Mariners suck. I'm just playing.
The Mariners?
Mariners are a baseball team from the Major League. Well, I'm like torn between the Blue Jays and the Mariners because I'm still bitter about the Astros not making the postseason this season. So I've been taking it out on the Mariners and Brandon.
I think I saw Houston.
But joking, but mostly memeing and jokes. That's it. I don't mean any malicious intent, towards Brandon.
I think I saw
talking about Brandon Martin. I know nothing about baseball, so.
But Brandon's a fan of Seattle. He's a fan of Denver, which I was in the 90s, a fan of the Denver Broncos during the John Elway era. And Brandon also likes the Portland Trail Blazers, which, the Spurs always whooped their ass back in the day in the playoffs. But, he covers sports. I wanted to try to do that as a football game one day, David. Just maybe one Cowboy game. That would be interesting. But I'd probably get enthusiastic and be like, yeah, that's it. To all the New York Jets fans or the New York Giants fans, I'd be like, you.
Well, here's the thing about.
And then David will be like, Jesster, why did you move the fans?
Well, here's the thing about the Seattle Mariners triple nickel. If they make it into the World Series, it's going to be very hard because they're not at home. They're on the road at Toronto, and their offense is not that good. So I don't know. We'll see.
Well,
But
you gotta have a good team. You gotta have a team with very good depth to beat the Dodgers, because the Dodgers are a super team in the MLB right now.
Yeah.
And you gotta. I mean, if the Spurs can beat the Miami Heat at their best, then I think a team in the MLB should try and put together a team that could counter what they're doing, because any super team can be beat. I mean, you've seen it. I mean, we've seen it happen 1,000 times. It may not happen in college football because most teams are juggernauts. I mean, the highest ranked teams are juggernauts, and compared to the schools sometimes they play, they get destroyed. I remember back when the Longhorns won the national title, and then we had a second national championship, and then we got destroyed by Alabama, the Crimson Tide. Well, Colt McCoy got hurt too. So.
Yeah. Oh, jeez,
that was back in the days, David, where you had to be ranked number 1 and number 2 to get to the national championship. You didn't have the playoff system we did then, not what we do now. So yeah, it's
Kansas City beat the Raiders 31-0. Jesus Christ!
Damn.
Yeah. But
how are the Ravens doing? Are they still?
They're not gonna do well this year, I'm afraid.
Poor Tyler.
But let me see if they actually play today. They might have their bye week, but let me see. Yeah, it's their bye week today. So this week. They're playing Chicago Bears next week. So.
Oh, they came back and won. That's cool. See, that's
which team?
The Broncos, I think. The Broncos scored 0 points in the first 3 quarters today, then scored 33 in the fourth to win.
About the Baltimore Ravens haven't been the same since that Detroit game on Monday Night Football, and I think what happened was Monday Night Football just basically cursed the Ravens by taking the Ravens to win that game by all of their sports reporters, and they're making a big deal about how what's the quarterback's name? Lamar Jackson always wins the Monday Night Football, and it just sinks them. And
who cares what you gotta think, David? What's up, everybody?
What's up?
HR.
Yeah, I haven't been on here. I was like, I thought about stopping by, because I know who the other guys were, and you know how it is. I never want to come in here and be myself and possibly offend some people.
James, the agitator of the No Kings protest. So how did that go, Chayton? I wanted to hear about like how you were able to take a picture with people and go there without getting assaulted.
Well, some people I know will go there, and I've not that I know like I'm buddies with them, but it's just like it's like a lot of people don't really like sometimes me in that community, because the fact that I call out all the hypocrisies and everything. They're fair to call out mine. My woman does it all the time. But the people who took the pictures, they were nice, and all that. Everybody was filming, so I just thought, well, I'll just blend right in. The main thing that pissed me off was I was 30 minutes late to work because and it wasn't because I made the stop. No, I had time, so I thought, okay, I'll stop, like lollygag for a moment, head to the bus, take it, and by the time I get on the bus, the protest hadn't begun yet, and I thought, okay, then I'll get past it before I have to, hit. And well, that didn't happen. The bus ran late, got on it right when the protest was starting, right in the street that we were coming towards, and so yeah.
Well, I was at a college football game yesterday, so I didn't miss my.
I don't know what's worse though. The crowd at the No Kings protest or the crowd at the Jonas Brothers concert, because that was a fucking lot of fine bitches, but remember I'm domesticated, so yeah, don't tell my woman this. But I can't, it like if this was like 2 years ago, I would have been hitting on that like the fucking Barbie movie when I was bartending. Oh, I got some tail during that period. David, you need to become a bartender, especially when a girly movie comes out. What's a girly movie coming out? Maybe Wicked. But what's another girly movie that a lot of people are excited for?
I thought they already came out.
Well, Wicked's come out next month, but I was trying to think of another like a girly movie.
Yeah, David would be a funny bartender.
Yes, David. I think you could get some tails. Like, find a movie that a lot of bitches that are in their 40s are going to. They'll look at you and they're like, fresh meat. You're like.
Sorry. I rather 20s. Okay.
Wedding Crashers.
You rather join ICE? What the fuck, David?
No.
That's what David should do. That's what David should do.
I said I rather 20s, not 40s.
David, you could learn so much from fucking a 45-year-old. Like, trust me, I did.
And midgets.
Danny, do you approve that message of what?
I know. Well, Charlie can speak from his
I
experience.
agree with you, Tyler. He is scared of cougars.
I don't know how good. I don't know how good of an experience that would be for David. But
I've always stated. Now, David is not yet the same age I was when I was shacking up with a woman 20 years my senior. But so you got like a few more years. I was a few more years. So David's got a few more years. But David, that was like my sexual awakening. You think your sexual awakening is in your fucking, I don't know, teens, 20s? No. Like, I lost my virginity at 14, but fucking when I was with that 45-year-old, will not name names for the sake of that. It was like I learned so much about myself. David, like, you may even like getting your salad tossed. David, do you know what that is, by the way?
We don't want to know what that is.
All right.
But
Mr. Beauregard, do you know what tossing the salad means?
No, he definitely doesn't if we don't.
Mr. Beauregard, do you know?
Yeah, I told you.
Fuck. Awesome. Let me see if my woman's in the shower. Yeah, maybe she can because I know Mr. Beauregard likes my woman and my woman likes him. So, maybe. Hey, baby, you in the shower yet? Before you go, can you explain? Can you explain to Mr. Beauregard what tossing the salad is?
Oh, we just sit you nice and pretty on your back, and someone would proceed to lick your asshole while also stroking your cock.
Now you're on camera. Look at the reaction.
There you go. Thank you.
Daddy's like, what the hell?
And David said, now David is an agent for ICE. That would be something to see, wouldn't it?
Oh, sweetie. Also, David's thinking about joining ICE.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh that hard. Don't let your dreams be dreams, David.
Yeah. Look, is he wide enough to join ICE?
I'm sorry. Goes to recon.
Oh.
I never said I would join ICE to begin with.
What are you talking about? We had a long private conversation that was not recorded where you told me.
Remember that was that one time he didn't want to donate to the stream to help with my dog's vet bill, so he hates dogs. And the lady leading Ice, she killed her own puppy. You know what I mean? Like, he's just what they're looking for.
I don't know anything about
Christy Gnome.
But then we talk about joining Ice on a call.
Oh yeah, I was there, and he thought, the pay was really great. And he would have a hot boss and stuff, that has similar ideals to him.
All right, baby, I love you. Anyway, we'll get back to the main topic after scarring David and Mr. Beauregard. I literally told Mr. Garza, you know what? I'll tell it to you, but I know you like my woman, and my woman likes you. So I wanna. He'd pay for her OnlyFans. So, which no shame in that. No. Mr. Beauregard will be our first subscriber if we ever make an OnlyFans.
That's better than how money gets you, right, Brent?
Hey, Mr. Beauregard, it's not gay if you. Wait, hold on a second.
What's going on?
In his honor, I will do some morally gray things to a Blues Clues plushie.
Jesus Christ.
What the f is happening?
What the?
Just leave the Scooby-Doo plush alone. Don't do anything to Scooby. All right, guys.
Oh, Danny said don't do anything to Scooby, though. He's got a Scooby-Doo plushie.
It's okay. I think it's Scooby. You could be Shaggy.
Oh, okay. Well, ain't that bestiality? Ain't that bestiality, though, baby? Love you. Anyway, so yeah, going back to the protest for that little side of entertainment for the moment. Yeah, it was surprisingly, I've only gotten one. Even when I posted shorts on my channel, I've only gotten really one bad comment, and yet I still haven't heard back from that person when I fucking felt like I owned them in the comment section. Outside of that, Facebook's been mostly respectful because most of my friends, while a lot of us don't agree politically, they can at least we respect each other's opinions, and we don't shame the other. I always tell people, if you're a friend of mine, I'm really not shaming you, because most of y'all, even if we don't agree on certain things politically, you got your heads on straight. You don't get too offended by the littlest things.
Not
what was I saying? Oh yes,
the little things.
yeah, the little things.
I see what you did there.
The protest was nobody died, from what I understand, but apparently there were some people that spray graffitied parts of the city, including a church.
That was insane.
Which I'm thinking, protest, but the counter protest.
Yeah, which I laughed though, because I'm literally thinking to myself, y'all talk about being peaceful protesters, but yet you're violating and talking about your rights, right, to protest, right, but yet you're committing crimes by doing graffiti. Just like when people say that Trump is not our king or whatnot, right? Okay, no king protest, whatever the fuck. I always laugh when political figures die, and the leftists will say, "Rest in peace, king. Rest in peace, queen. Rest in power, queen." And I'm thinking, I thought there was no fucking kings, but yet you're calling them queens and kings. Again, I know it's a different meaning, but still, I just think it's fucking hypocritical. Do I want anybody as a king? No, but it is what it is.
I'm the king of this.
How do you spell that?
Spell what?
Graffiti.
Let's ask David. He should know. He's the smartest of all of us.
Yeah, David is the best spell. No, Graffiti.
So let me rephrase that. Graffiti.
Yeah, I think so.
Graffiti.
Okay.
Yeah, don't ask David to spell anything.
King Booker. Oh yeah, exactly. But yeah. So yeah, the Jonas Brothers concert was I forgot All American Rejects are going to be there. So that was the only one I actually was looking forward to hearing who was it? It was one of the songs I like is not even a Jonas Brothers song. It's a Nick Jonas song, "Jealous." I was glad he sang that there, even if it was just the Jonas Brothers and all that. So that was cool. But yeah, it was a very interesting day yesterday. Had a great palate cleanser today. I'm really running on 3 hours of sleep because I literally. What time did I get up? Yeah, I got home around midnight. Didn't go to bed till like 4 a.m. Had to wake up at 4:30, I think. Had to wake up at 8, and then went to work. So then go.
Oh, speaking of work, any advice if I find the right time to get a job? Like, what's your advice for the first job I should have?
Find something you love to do.
Yeah, man.
I mean, like the name of the job, like, or places.
You gotta just look it up, and then
Well, I was gonna say, David.
No, I'm asking for advice of what type of job I should get. That's what.
Well, find what you like. I can't really, because your taste may be different than mine of what type of job you like. I'll tell you this much. You know what you should do? Go to Indeed. I'm sure they have that up in your neck of the woods. Yeah. Go to Indeed.com and just scroll random jobs in your area and see what may fit you, what may intrigue you. Even if it's something you may not feel like you're going to be the greatest at first. Maybe it's something that you can eat that could pay really well and that you will be able to it may be something that you may never think you'd like. And then, like, hell, when I was in the restaurant industry for as long as I was, there were times where when I used to be a dishwasher, I used to, feel a bit ashamed I was a dishwasher. But you know what? There are times where I miss being in dish because less fucking stress I had to deal with and all this other stuff. And I used to always think dishwashers were bottom of the barrel. But one thing my head chef taught me, and I'll never forget it. He taught me a lot of things. He always said the dishwasher is the most important person in the kitchen.
That is true.
And you may think, well, how so? Well, without a dishwasher, you have no clean pots. You have no clean pans. You have no clean plates. You have no clean silverware. And if you have none of that, you can't run a kitchen unless you want to be cheap and fucking use plastic plates and fucking paper plates and shit like that.
That's what I like to do.
Or David
as a custodian at a baseball stadium wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You know, I did that as an odd job many years ago. I went to Austin to go after a football game. I went to go pick up trash after that many years ago. I literally just went because I wanted to go to Austin. I hadn't been there in a while. I literally had a buddy of mine, and literally we were like, "Hey, let's book a night. Like, literally, let's go and fucking spend the night in Austin. Let's go and chill. Let's go spend the day. We'll come back the following day, right? We'll go and we'll fucking go back and what do you call it? We'll get our checks afterwards." You know, and that's what we did. You know, it was just basically an excuse to go to Austin. And it wasn't that hard of a job. And we got fed. It's 12-hour shift. We got fed. We got paid pretty decently. Mine just was like in my early 20s, probably like 21 maybe. I would also, David, I would try to find maybe something as a startup. I would try to find something like a temp job. Somewhere where maybe...
A what?
A temp job. I did that in my early days. Basically, a lot of odd jobs. Like, that was an odd, like me picking up trash at a stadium.
Odd job. Okay.
Well, it's a temp job, but it's like
work at a restaurant, David, or a fast
that too.
Well,
yeah, just do something where it's not going to cost.
You can work on the drive-through line. You say, "Hello, welcome to."
I don't recommend working fast food. I have dealt with so many. Okay, so I'll put it to you this way: I have dealt with so many fucking people. Like, I deal with thousands of people on the daily where I work at. You know, So this is not something. So people don't like. I don't like people, which is funny because a lot of people who are not the best people, or like don't like people in their private time, are the best at customer service. I've learned. But my point is that I've worked I've worked with so many people. One job I will never do again is fast food. I've done it. I did it twice, technically 3 times, but twice at one job. I would never do it again. Because
a couple of days ago, I was at Dunkin' drive-thru and somebody said, I heard screaming, don't talk to me, like that again. I'm done.
Oh, that's what that was.
When I worked at little, or not where I worked at, but when my grandfather and I used to go to Little Caesars, we'd always hear people fucking arguing. I'm like thinking, what the fuck?
I believe that.
Pizza.
Oh, Jesster, by the way, Dragon is coming down in a few weeks.
Okay.
I'm going to be off on the weekend of the 7th. Well, most likely. I still got to wait to get it approved. We are going to find a way for all of us to meet up. I don't care where. I will kidnap you and put you in the back of my woman's car if I need to.
Oh, there you go.
No, you're too nice. I can't do that to you. but David, I would do that to. I would go and fucking kidnap him, hog tie him, put an apple in his mouth, and take him down here, and then I'll unbag him because I'll have a bag over his head like he's getting deported, and I will tell him. I will undo it right when he hits the strip club. Anyway, but yes, David, do things you like find something, or even do some odd jobs here and there, and see what you like and see what you could be good at. That way you could kind of move forward with it. Hell, do dishwashing.
It's all about the experience.
Yeah.
I also have a LinkedIn account, so hopefully that might
go to
help.
Indeed too, my brother. Indeed has been very helpful with me in the past.
I have an account of that as well.
Okay, because that, trust me, brother. Indeed has been some of the best jobs I've ever had in my life. I've gotten through Indeed. So, now granted, Indeed doesn't help me get it. It just gives me the tools to find what's open. And then I go, you gotta sell it not only with that, but also with your personality and whatever your trades. But yeah. So anyway, guys.
Also more research about
yes. But I'm gonna get out of here, guys. I'm just gonna be relaxed. I just want to pop in. I haven't been on here since the show started. So yeah. Anyway, y'all take care. Thanks for having me on. And ta-ta for now.
Welcome.
Peace, guys. Remember, Mr. Beauregard, find a woman that'll toss your salad. Anyway, later.
All right, too late.
Wait, Charlie was here at the beginning of the show, Jesse, or no?
No.
He
showed up. He showed up. He always shows up late in the shows.
Yeah.
And Daddy's like, oh my God.
So when I guess weakest link has been my personality for the last couple of months. It's a little concerning.
Then you just switch the Price is Right and you'll feel better.
Oh, never.
Why?
Price is Right. I mean, of course, Price is Right is legendary, but that's the show that I've statistically seen the least of all my entire life.
You're a sad person.
Now we can always play Weakest Link a couple more times because we already did it once, and Joey was a contestant, and some of the folks that I originally wanted, they couldn't show up, but luckily it worked out in the end.
Danny, did you use Indeed before?
I have, yes, yeah, I did to get my last 2 jobs, as a matter of fact.
Oh, okay.
Although with the call center, I kind of had to call them 2 or 3 times and say, "Hey, can I still apply?" And they were like, "Oh yeah, sorry." So it worked.
See, David could always start off at fast food.
That's true.
And work his way up to manager. But what do you really want to do, David? That's all. I mean, I'm just giving you some examples.
Well,
wow.
I forgot to tell Charlie this, but if I want to get into the building of TV or radio or anything broadcasting. Like I don't know if me being an actor would have to be the first step because it'll be cool for me to be featured in a movie, but
Well,
that's
you
the
would have to
first thing
talk to
I think.
Chayton about that too, because Chayton's been in short films, so you should,
Really?
yeah, you should
Oh,
talk to him
really?
about that. Yeah, he was in that one short film, so he's done some things.
On
So
what streaming service?
He he was in a
Was it on Netflix?
vampire. It was, no, he was in a vampire short film that was on YouTube. But you would have to ask him. But I remember quite vividly he got killed twice in that little
Well, he's
film.
still alive.
Well, his character got killed, and it was
Yeah.
funny to see. That was when he still
Yeah.
had the curly hair and then
For the past month, I've been thinking about maybe I should become an actor if I want to get into broadcasting without dealing with college bull crap. You know what I'm
Well, I
saying?
mean, college is a way to get those type of jobs. It just depends on what you want to do. You know,
Yeah, I
you
just
could
I
do
just don't.
broadcasting. You could do broadcasting. Just don't let the professors, corrupt you, and then you become like one of those lefties that come and you start like, spreading ideology. No, I'm just kidding. All joking aside,
Yeah,
but like, you could go to college. It just depends on what college you go to. You could go to whatever
I just
college.
don't want to waste. I just don't want to waste my time dealing with math, science, or whatever classes I have to do all over again.
Yeah, that's the one thing that sucks about college. You have to take classes that have nothing to do with your major.
Yeah, I know Danny and had to do with that. Well, I assume he did math, right, Danny, in college.
A little bit, yeah. That was the class where the math teacher had where she fainted in the middle of class.
What?
And Daddy was like, "Oh my God, what happened?"
What happened? Like, did he have any like like?
Have I not told you this story? I don't know.
No, you didn't. Tell me the full
Okay,
story.
about 6 years ago,
Yeah, wait, hold on. For us to see Danny better, can you stop the share screen?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll take care of that.
So we can focus on this.
So I
I
started.
never heard of this story.
Okay, so about 6 years ago, I started community college, and this is just my second day ever of college, but it was the first day we had to go to this specific class, which was intermediate algebra. So we got in there, and the teacher, she's about, I would say, I would put her in the 65 to 70 range, and she's talking about something, and then I believe the class was about 90 minutes, and right at the 45-minute mark, she says, "Okay, now here's the part of class where I usually take a break." And as soon as she says those words, she hits the floor.
Oof.
At this point, everyone started freaking out, like, what do we do? Is she, they're like, oh, we got to call the cops. Is she dead? Blah, blah, blah. We don't know what's happening. And for a second, I thought she might have been just pranking us because, what she said. Oh, no, I take her. She just fell on the floor like, I fainted. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I guess she had somewhat of an episode. And they took her away. And then the next class, she was like, I'm sorry. I just didn't eat enough that day. And we're like,
she probably had hypoglycemia and crashed.
Yeah, but as far as I know, she was still there about a year later. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know if it probably wasn't a stroke, but she fainted probably because malnourished or some shit. And if you go on Rate My Teacher, I went on Rate My Teacher. All the reviews of her were terrible. They all said, "Oh, she's nice, but she's too slow, and she's not a very good teacher." So,
dang. Well, at least she's gonna retire at some point.
I really don't know if she's gonna retire, but
yeah. But yeah, like I'm just thinking, like, would I be a good actor? Because like that is the only way I can think of going to the TV business. If I want to be on the airwaves and just be around, be more social that way. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
But that's the only thing I can think of. Really. I mean, I do want to go into radio one day, just to play music other than polka. But
oh, good luck.
Good luck on what?
Well, getting into radio after I don't know if there's that many openings for it anymore, but
yeah, that's what Chris said the other day. But,
yes.
Really, Tyler?
Or you could be a UFC fighter, David, but I don't think
David should take over for Dana White as head of the UFC.
Oh,
Dana White, the head of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. You don't know who that is? Oh, well,
yeah.
You don't
Dana
follow.
White.
Don't follow,
Oh,
Dana.
David would have to shave his head.
Dana White,
bald,
Vanna
and,
White. Oh God.
No relation to Vanna White, unfortunately. David would have to shave his head bald to look like Dana White.
He's been getting so much hate for all these reasons.
And Dana White is also scheduling a fight on the White House lawn for Trump's birthday next year, so you get to have fun with that.
Yeah, with a bunch of protests around it.
Oh no, that's going to be a hell of an event, I'll tell you.
I wonder what channel it's going to be on. Fox News, probably.
Yeah, it'll probably be. You have to pay for it. Maybe it'll be on Netflix, like the Mike Tyson versus Logan Paul. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
on Netflix. When?
That was about last November. Yeah, the fight between Mike Tyson and Logan Paul, wasn't it?
And how all those fans got screwed out of money.
Now starting to
They
get
thought it
into
was going to actually be a competitive
so,
fight.
Yeah.
It's about time.
But yeah, that was a bleep.
What I'm worried though is like what's gonna happen to Hulu Live after Disney Plus grabs Hulu in general.
Okay, it was someone said it was Jake Paul, not Logan Paul. You know, both of them, they're pretty
Jake Paul.
similar. It's hard to tell the difference between the two of them.
Yeah.
Or David could always become the commissioner of MLB.
That too.
I would have to be a billionaire for that to happen.
Oh, why doesn't David go on? He could be one of the judges on Shark Tank.
Yeah. I won't invest in it. It shucks.
I'm not going to invest in it unless there's deal or no deal.
Price is right.
Yes.
Let's not forget about Price is Right.
Mark Cuban. We love Mark Cuban.
Yeah. But
or David owning a baseball team or a minor league baseball team.
I did thought about wanting to be a owner of a water park hotel to see, if I can. Because if you own a hotel, don't you get like so much money from owning a hotel?
Yeah, that and you could become a general manager in time for something like for a hotel too. You'd make pretty much money, and you could fire Chayton and then hire Danny as the assistant general manager.
That'd be a good one.
Well, you're going to be working at a call center, so I cannot hire you.
And you could put Chayton at front desk.
Yeah, do
that. Yeah.
So, what are you guys gonna be for Halloween?
Oh, my costume isn't changing anytime soon. It's been the same since 2009.
Oh yeah, what you do, Steve from Blue's Clues, right?
That's MetroCon.
I'm sorry. Tell me what your
Halloween. That's convention.
I'm sorry. What's your Halloween costume, Brandon?
It has always been since 2009 the exact same costume, Anakin Skywalker from the CGI Clone Wars.
Forgive me. I would like to be
It's
Jar
still
Jar Binks,
bad.
but I feel like that would be too tough to pull off.
I mean, I can't pull off the character, but I've had this suit last year.
I'd love to be I would love to try and wear a Power Ranger suit, but I don't think I could handle wearing the helmet because of my anxiety problems and tight spaces.
Honestly, I think I'm just done dressing up. I mean, unless if I'm doing.
You can always dress up as a baseball player, David.
Am I doing that right now?
Yeah, you could dress up as
sort of.
Well, I'm not gonna have that black. What's it called, Jesse? That black.
Oh, the eye black.
Eye black. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
You ain't black. What'd you say?
Danny.
That's right. If you're not subscribed to Network 3000, you ain't black. I'll tell you.
Okay, Joe Biden. But we have something to tell Sophie now. But no, I think I'm just done with dressing up. Unless if it's for like a game show episode or a podcast. I'm not dressing up. The only way I'm gonna dress up for is me being in the movie, and that's basically the only dressing up I will be doing. Because with Halloween, it's just like, what's the point of that holiday? That holiday should be extinct from our. It's unhealthy. It's unhealthy, and people get sick from it, and it's just like, oh my god, I want some more candy. Please, more candy. Shut the F up, okay?
You can buy your own candy.
Exactly. You don't need to.
Even though David still looks like a 12-year-old kid. He could pass as a kid and go trick or treating, and I bet you he'd have a full bag of candy.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't like candy. I'm not a candy person. Like, I just it's I don't know why. I mean, here's why I hate Halloween. You go out trick or treating, and it's very cold outside. It's very cold outside. Like, what's the point if it's gonna be super chilly? And when all of a sudden
David, unless you're living here where I am, it's not that cold.
True that, but it's just like, all of a sudden you don't get the day off, and it's just like you have to like be rushing and get it done by 8 o'clock for the kids, the children who are annoying as heck. So it's just like,
I was told here over here that trick or treating lasts from 5:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m.
Well, here's the thing: the parents are going to make them leave earlier by 8 o'clock anyway, because they need to get back in time to get up for school to make. Well, it depends on Well, if the little kids' bedtime is 8 o'clock, like their usual at their age, then yeah. But that's all depends, what day of the week Halloween is on. Have David take over for what?
Or David could work for Congress.
Oh yeah, Congressman St. Dennis.
Congressman St. Dennis, yeah.
No, I'd rather run for mayor for Boston.
Oh gosh.
Could you imagine if David was the mayor of Boston? They would have to make a seat. They would have to make a seat for him to reach the desk.
Yes, that should be your campaign slogan. Vote for St. Dennis. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
But seriously,
Yes, we can.
Oh, that too.
Oh yeah.
Like
A++.
Yes, that would be good.
The A++ candidate.
Yes. It should be
honestly, if I was president, I would get rid of Halloween. I truly mean that because
you'd have a lot of pissed off people, David. You wouldn't get reelected.
I just like it's point. I mean, honestly, if I really want to make people happy, I will make sure Halloween is an absolute day you get the day off for. That's the only thing I would change. Is
At least I'm gonna do that. Well, because I used to. For the last few Halloweens, I had to work at Walgreens at night, so we would have the trick or treaters come in and be like, "Can we get free candy?" No.
And he's like, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah. I say that in my mind,
Go fuck yourself.
Sorry. I think Jesse has had the best impression of me lately. I'll give you that.
But yeah, if I was president, I would actually make Halloween a. Even though I'm not a fan of it, if I want to, make people happy, I'll just make sure I'll make it a holiday that people get the day out for. Because I hate the fact, the holiday. Okay, here's the fair deal. If I'm gonna make Halloween like an actual holiday people get off, I'm gonna get rid of Valentine's Day completely from our existence.
Oh, you can't do that.
Oh, you get backlash from every community possible. You'd make an enemy. You'd make an enemy with the LGBTQ community for that.
What did they have to? Okay, hold on. What did they have to?
I will back David up on that. Get rid of Valentine's Day. I'm gonna back you up on
couple.
If you guys weren't single, you wouldn't be saying that stuff.
Yeah. I think once these two get a girlfriend, they'll change their tune.
Well, I mean, I don't have a girlfriend.
Maybe, but who knows?
It's a holiday that just makes people depressed and think about.
You got to get people their flowers and their chocolate and their wine.
It's a scam. Okay,
that's a
Valentine's Day is an absolute scam of our existence. Okay, I had enough of Valentine's Day. I wish I could die for one day and come back to Valentine's Day. That's how much I okay.
Oh my goodness gracious!
That should be the day That should be when I should take off social media for at least 2 days. That's how much I hate fun.
When's the? So David, who are you endorsing in the New York mayor race?
I don't like New York sports. I don't know. I can tell you.
That's like asking a Boston about New York sports is like asking a politician about.
Oh wait a minute!
About the opposing side.
The mayor race in New York. It's between Zoran Mamdani, Andrew Cuomo, who David knows.
That's the one who I want to win.
Oh, okay. And some guy named Curtis Silva, who's I don't even. I guess I know who he is, but I don't know anything about him.
But yeah, I'll make sure Valentine's Day is out because it's a scam. It's a waste of money. People don't get the day off for it, and all it does is make people depressed of not having a partner. So it's a disgrace. It's no, I love holidays, just not that one. I love Christmas. I love Thanksgiving. It's all right. Thanksgiving's all right. It's just that I only like the football and food part of it. But it's just that there's other things I don't like to do part of Thanksgiving. But that's just because time has changed. But yes, I hate it. I hate it with a passion.
I hate it and I don't like it.
Yeah. Valentine's Day should be gone like Russia should be. Okay. I mean, should be gone like the asteroid did with the dinosaurs. That's how it should be. Anyway, I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. Every holiday that is a tradition in our, should get a day off from work. That's how it should be. Like St. Patrick's Day, they should get the day off for. Um, what other holidays that? I mean, I mean, I don't know. That's the one I can think of, but I don't know. It's
Yeah, Jesse, I'm glad you liked that game we did because I had to edit it and put all the music over it and be like, okay, it ends at this point and then restart. It was grueling.
Anyway, that's in the snow. I think it's time for the closing.
All right. Well, yeah. There we go.
What's that for?
Oh, just to remind me to end the stream.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I'm going to do a final thought before we go. You guys can leave if you want. I'm just going to do a final thought and then close the show.
You can put us backstage and then you can add us on that.
All right. Let me do that real quick. Drop you
If
down.
I can.
Whoops. All right. So we're going to. All right. The stream is wrapping up, but let's take a minute for the real final thought here. We just spent time analyzing the situation with Henry Resilient and the allegations concerning Blake Foster. Regardless of the specifics, what we're witnessing is a brutal example of what happens when online drama spills into the real world. We saw the intense public scrutiny, the back and forth, and the ultimate serious escalation, doxing. It forces us to ask a difficult but necessary question, not just for Henry, but for every single content creator out there. Is that click worth it? Is the momentary boost in viewership, the trending that trending title, or the extra few dollars in ad revenue ever worth sacrificing your own peace of mind or the privacy and safety of those around you? Content creation is a hustle, but when the content itself puts a target on your back and jeopardizes your real life, you have to reevaluate the risk versus the reward. Because once the information is out there, there's no deleting it. It's permanent. We need to keep having this conversation about where the line is drawn between public figure and private person. Stay safe. Stay safe out there. Protect your digital boundaries and never let the pursuit of views override your personal security. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next time here on Jester's Lounge.